Hey guys, I'm Arthur and welcome back to the channel. You're watching Dirt Hammers Off-Road Media. Hey, just a quick video today. I want to show you one of the new products that I'm going to install on my Jeep. I should have done it almost a year ago when I bought the Jeep. Just been putting it off. So let's take a closer look at it and I'll give you a little more information about it, and I'd be glad to hear some comments on what products you guys install as far as armor and protection. And let's take a closer look at what armor I'm going to put on my Jeep and tell you why I chose it and just a few things about it. So let's get started. So there it is, guys, the Weston skid plate. This covers 2012 to 2018 JKs. This is for an automatic and a manual transmission. This will protect the transmission and the engine oil pan. Also has an access area to access the drain bolt on the oil pan. But man, I picked this thing up for 150 bucks. Again, extremeterrain.com. That's kind of where I've been doing some of my shopping, but I don't think you can beat it for the price. And for the kind of wheeling I do, this thing will work just perfect. It's heavy gauge, good looking welds, nice coating. The brackets are heavy duty. I don't see where I could have went wrong. Now, if I was doing some rock crawling, something like that, where pretty extreme stuff, there's a lot of other options out there, but they're pricey. I was going something for a little more budget friendly, and this is what I chose. I mean, this thing is pretty nice. It's heavy duty. You can see how thick that steel is, 3/16 maybe. Looks well built. The brackets are pretty beefy. Got some mounting hardware. There's the cover plate. But we're gonna get this thing installed. Now, the reason I chose this, one, was budget. That's exactly what I was looking for, was something affordable and offered protection. Okay, so I got the Weston skid plate on. A couple small little hiccups. I did notice once I was underneath the Jeep, there was a kind of a cross member piece that goes right across the muffler. I didn't realize I was missing that until I got to installing the skid plate, and it mentioned it in the instructions. And then it was also a vital piece to hold the rear part of the skid plate on, so I was able to improvise. But let's take a closer look at the skid plate, and I'll tell you some of the pros and cons about it, and let's see if we can climb underneath the Jeep. Let's see if we can get under here. Get in here and take a closer look. So you can see the skid plate. It fits nicely. It doesn't touch or rub on anything. But right here's where I'm missing the cross member piece. There was a cross member that runs across here to the other side of the frame, attaches to this side of the frame here, and it also attached to here. This was my compromise that I had to do, which I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I had to put a fastener and some washers right here. This is where that cross member piece would have come across. It's kind of like a T off of it, and it would have secured right here. The skid plate fits pretty good. No real issues. There's the oil drain pan access. You do have to remove that, so that does kind of add a little bit of something extra for your oil change. But fully protects the engine oil pan and the transmission. I got a manual speed transmission, so there is a lot of clearance between the skid plate and the transmission. A lot of holes in the skid plate. Those have helped, to rinse out mud, things of that nature. But also for the money, there's some pros and cons with this skid plate. One, all these holes that are in it, it's definitely not a rock sliding kind of skid plate. It will protect the bottom part of the engine's oil pan and transmission from accidental impacts and damage. But if you was going to spend more money and you needed something to slide over, those skid plates have less holes. They're usually solid. They don't have fasteners that extend or protrude out like that. They're more countersunk, so they'll glide over. So that's some things to consider. but it meets my needs as far as budget and my kind of wheeling that I do. So I'm happy with it, especially for the price. Okay guys, so that's the end of the video. Hey, once again, it's a budget-friendly skid plate. It does fit. It does exactly what I wanted to do, and that's just to protect the bottom of the engine's pan, the transmission, for any accidental impacts that may occur. But if you're looking for something a little more hardcore for wheeling and sliding over rocks and doing rock crawling, there are other options. Just expect to spend more money. But again, hey man, thanks for watching, and I'd like to hear some of your thoughts and ideas on what skid plates that you've installed, any kind of pros and cons. If anybody's using the Weston skid plate that I've just installed here, what's your thoughts on it? What's your longevity? Have you had any issues with it? And just let me know. Subscribe and comment below, and I'll get back with you. Thanks guys.